Hello and welcome to our first edition of our Prep Football Summer Series. First up are the Yuma Criminals, head coach Armando Mosqueda joining us. Coach, first off, thanks for joining us. Year two at the helm for the Criminals. How do you feel about where you guys are at right now?
Well, honestly, it was a different start, kind of first season as a head coach last season, but I think, honestly, our last game beating Odyssey, starting off this end of the season with the win, it kind of got our energy high for this upcoming season, and it's led into summer and spring with that intensity.
So, Coach, obviously that last year, your first year in the helm, it took a little bit for you guys to get going. You mentioned that last week win against Odyssey. What are going to be like the expectations of you guys progressing? I know a couple years back, they were 7-3, just on the verge of missing the playoffs. What's going to be that next step that you guys take in order to make a real run at a playoffs in 3A this year?
What comes down to is just our players being coachable, our coaches coming together, and just us working as a team. The pieces are there. We're working on it. We got a lot of young guys, and these young guys are coming together. So we're just hoping to kind of put the pieces together, kind of cross T's, dot the I's, and figure out what we need to do to be successful. I think we're on the right path, but we just got to kind of figure out what's the best path for us.
Speaking of those young guys, you guys are going to have to replace Reggie Antone at quarterback. He's moving on to the JUCO level. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about where your quarterback competition is right now, and how does that currently stand?
So right now we're kind of keeping our options open. Going into 7-on-7 this kind of this summer season. As of right now, it's going to be Nicholas Amador, who's kind of stepped up as that role. He's our senior quarterback, played wide receiver last year. He understands the offense, understands the game, and is just an athlete.
Where do you want to see maybe throughout these 7-on-7, what do you want to see him do throughout these 7-on-7s to really establish himself as the guy under center?
So we just want him to get comfortable back there. That's really all it is. We want to be able to see the field, understand what kind of the play call is looking for, what we're looking for coverages, kind of just what the offense is meant to be and who he needs to go to in certain situations.
Coach, you got an interesting start to the season. 3 out of the first 4 games on the road away from home, and a couple of kind of give-me-back games. You have a couple games against Parker. You're going to have your first home game, and against Tempe on the road. Both were one-score games last year. What is it going to take for you guys to tilt the score in your favor this year?
When it comes down to it, we just got to make the big plays. In the game of football, it comes down to about 7 plays, and at the end, 7 to 9 plays. And at the end of the day, if you win the majority of those, you will win the game. But our word of the whole season is just adversity, right? When things don't go your way, how do you stand up as an athlete, as a player, as a man? And that's what we're really looking for of these players. So if we're able to put them in adverse situations and prepare them for what football comes at you, we'll be best suited for the season to come.
And here at Yuma, you've had the opportunity to coach your younger brother, Andrew Mosqueda, who I'm sure fans had seen all over FNL making some awesome catches out there as wide receiver and tight end. But what has that been like for you to be able to coach him?
It's honestly been one of the best experiences I could ever have in my life, because I got to see him grow up as just a kid, and we would always play football with him. Just even him and my friends, and I've seen him just mature and grow as an adult athlete and a student in general. But just watching him on the field, it's just beautiful to watch. He understands the game, and one thing that I struggled with in the beginning was kind of creating that barrier between my brother and being a coach, right? I had to kind of talk to him differently. But once we kind of got that going, he was an automatic leader and just understood what I needed out of him, and he stepped up to the plate.
And year 2, Coach, what is going to be measured as success for this year's group of Criminals?
It's just, like I said, about adversity and how we respond to difficult situations, right? Sometimes in football, it's not going to go your way. You can make the best play, but you're still going to get beat at times. And when it comes down to it, how do you respond? So I'm hoping to see, and some of these games are going to be difficult, and all I can ask is that my players respond well and give the effort needed to succeed.
Well, Coach, we thank you for joining us. We can't wait to watch you and the Crims get after it this season. Good luck with the 2024 season. And thank you all for joining us. And make sure to stay tuned for all of our episodes as we go across the Imperial Valley and Yuma in our summer series for Prep Football.